And that's when he said the police part. You know, with all the things going on, I'm like, Black Lives Matter, man. Like, you know, you trying to get me killed? Like,
You know, state your case.
I came in contact with Mr. Underwood. My daughter needed a computer for college. I in turn
Yes.
sought one out. We found one that had all the parameters. Needless to say, it wasn't everything that we thought it was. So my daughter was very disappointed, and I felt like I was deceived and maliciously frauded against.
How was it not what you wanted?
The said graphic card was in there, and it wasn't up to par. The terabyte, which is a 1 terabyte, which is what we liked. Also the fact that as far as the symbol keys and what have you on the keypad were different. Every time I would hit the pound sign or the @ sign, it would come up with a different symbol.
Do we have that video?
I'm gonna do the @ sign, so shift number 2, and that's what it gives me, is the parentheses.
Now, what happened on the day you bought it?
Mr. Underwood had an ad on a third-party app, which is an OfferUp ad. I sought him out through that because I couldn't afford $1,200 or $1,300 for a said computer, like retail, like through Best Buy or something of that nature. So
Right.
he was selling the parameters and all the specifics that I needed for my daughter's college classes and what have you. So we had conversation. He had told me that he was selling one, and we agreed to meet. It was roughly about 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening, and he brought out the charger and the computer, opened it up, went through some different things, and showed me some of the different settings and what have you. It was late. I wanted to get back home.
Is it then that you gave him the money?
I'm sorry, yes, there was a transaction of money, yes, of $500.
He showed you the computer, he showed you how it worked. You apparently said, okay, at least then you did, and you took the computer, you gave him $500, and then you went home.
Correct.
Okay, now what?
So getting home, I showed my daughter the said laptop. We in turn started going through some stuff to try to get her acclimated so she could start classes and what have you. Come to find out, that's when it was to my surprise that the symbols were off. I called Mr. Underwood the next day, and he had mentioned that he was going on vacation. He said that he would make it right, which is not only through a text message, but also communications through the said app, that he said he would make it right. And he just said, let's just clear it up when we get back from vacation. I said, okay, great.
And now, Jamil, how
Judge
would you like
Jerry.
to respond?
Basically, let me tell you how it really happened, okay? He did contact me on OfferUp. You know, he came over, we did make the meeting place. He came, checked the computer out real thoroughly. I even showed him, then I handed it to him. He checked them himself, went to his truck, even checked it again before he even handed me the cash. So, to my recollection, everything was what he was looking for. He seemed happy. He even said thank you. I gave him my card, my business card. In fact, I think he even rated me stars on the app actually. So all the lists as far as him saying the program was off, as far as the specs, that has nothing to do with me. He should have did his homework thoroughly. My ads clearly states on they're saying as far as the graphics card, the HD graphics 5500 with shared graphics memory, all the specs and everything is there. So it's not my fault he didn't check everything out before he came. Then on top of that, he did reach me through text, like 9 days later. As far as, to me, it was, you know, a fair exchange. This guy started harassing me. You can clearly see that he says the graphic card is not compatible with the program that we are using. That's not my fault. Him and his daughter should have did the homework. If he told me the program that he was looking for, I would have clearly told him this was not the computer for that. Here's this one, maybe try this one. But he did nothing of that. You have a 2-day buy-in where you reply back to try to resolve everything. This guy waited till 9 days. I don't know what he did to the computer. He contacted me wanting his money back, and you know, I basically, after he went to harassing me and everything, you know, I was going to help the guy.
Let's go to the harassment part. I really don't want to get stuck with the laptop. Can you please help me out? My daughter is beside herself.
And then he says, I'm sorry, but I don't want to have to get the police involved. I don't have to, okay? And I say, yeah, man, I got you. I left out of town. give me a message Wednesday, and I guess he was just like in the rush of me not replying. I was still texting, and that's when he said the police part. So I was like, wow, man, you didn't give me a chance to even reply, you know? I'm like, you know, with all the things going on, I'm like, Black Lives Matter, man. Like, you know, you trying to get me killed? Like, to me, it was off. You know, like, right there, like, I didn't even have to go forward right there.
I understand you guys are having disagreements on the computer, but why would you mention we bring the police in? That does seem to be taking it to another level suddenly. Who has the computer now?
Judge Jerry, it's right here. This is the said computer. And
So how about this? The defendant will give you back the original of $500 that you paid, and you will give him back his computer. So everybody's down to zero.
Your Honor.
None of this happened because you both, I want to unwind the deal, because you both had additional expenses, and both of you have grievances. But I'm going to say these grievances will balance out, and neither of you will be totally happy, but you'll have back your computer as if this never happened, and you'll have back the $500 you gave him. I know you sued him for $900. I'm only going to give you $500 back because he's suffered as well. So this was an unfortunate situation, but I'm not going to lay the blame just on any one person.
I'll be more than willing to do what you're asking, but I have to stand on ground even by the like I said, the policies and conditions of OfferUp.
But as I understand, the deal didn't wind up going through that app. The deal wound up that cash was personally given to you.
Yeah,
right
through the
there.
app. We set it to meet up through the app. Everything went through the app. The text is afterwards where he started threatening me afterwards. And like I said, I wasn't even going to help him when I got back from vacation. But this guy started threatening me again. He didn't even give me a chance to even respond.
I'm agreeing with you. That's totally inexcusable. But he sued for $900. I'm not giving him the $900.
Okay.
And that's the major reason I'm not. So I'm not being insensitive to what's going on here on either of your sides. But I understand that was way over the top. I get it.
How?
You're right.
What about my countersuit?
I'm saying that is what you're losing out of this, and what he's losing out of this is the $400 additional. What I'm going to do is you're going to get back your computer. You're going to wipe this whole thing from your memory. It didn't happen. You probably won't be doing business with him again. And you are going to get your $500 back. And you should, because it isn't what you wanted to get. The countersuit is dismissed, $500 for the plaintiff. Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have two options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.